Well, we had a lot of situations last night that we worked on today and had to clean up. Our guys came out third quarter. I thought that was some of the best defense we've played all year. Rotations, closeouts, running three-point shooters off their spots. Then once they went small, we had a lot of breakdowns in our transition defense. And with that said, Phoenix is probably the #1 team in the league when they put those three jets out there. You know, speed kills, and it almost got us last night with their 3 points, and they had no conscience, you know, getting them up, and they're great three-point shooters in that situation. But there's a lot of, you know, teaching points in the fourth quarter, closing out the games. Luckily, we came out ahead, but a lot of things we got to get better at as we go forward.
Late game execution was an emphasis for you in camp. Where do you see the growth so far in that area?
It's a step, you know, it's a step better. Guys are more mature in the situation more. The more you're in those situations, the better you're going to be. Our guys are there now. Not complete yet, Josh, but we're getting there. You know, we work on something in the game almost every day. To go over situations like that. And again, it's hard to simulate the adrenaline and fans and time score situation in practice, but we try to do that as much as possible.
That's the biggest step you guys have made late game?
You know, again, we've made a step. I don't know if it's the biggest. I think just knowing situations overall throughout the game, I think is something that's helped us, Mike. I think the experience of going to the playoffs has hardened us a little bit, toughened us up a little bit. Where, you know, we get punched, we stagger a little bit, but we don't fall down. And I think that's the biggest step. I look back at DeMar DeRozan, had a tough shooting night in Cleveland, but I thought he played some of his best defense of the season. So, you know, 2-3 years ago, you know, he might not have got the defensive part going. So. That's the sign of growth, of toughness in those situations, and it's good to see. Again, we still have a ways to go. It's still early in the season. I'm preaching that because I just see, you know, so many situations we got to get better in. The better the teams, the better we got to be in those situations.
At least one or two times a night, Kyle will make some sort of instinctive play that you just can't teach. How much of it do you think is learned, and how much of it is he just born with?
It's the DNA. I think that's just his winning DNA. Some players have that, and some players don't. We had Gary Payton in Seattle. He reminds me so much of Gary in those situations. He can't tell you the technique he used. He just gets it done. Loose ball on the floor, he's just going to come up with it. Charge to be taken, he's going to get it. Last night it was a block shot at his size, and he got it. So, you know, he just finds a way to, in those situations, to get it done, and it's just the DNA of Kyle.
Coach, you talk a little bit about the second unit, and you're 7th points off the bench this year as opposed to 27th last year. Just talk a little bit about how important that is to have.
Huge to have you know, Lou Williams come in and give us what he does. James has been hurt, but he's given us some physicality off the bench. Patrick Patterson is a definite threat. G is a threat off the bench, so it's huge for us, especially you don't have that drop-off once your first unit goes out, and they got to go out. I mean, you know, I've been watching DeMar and Kyle's minutes go up a little bit, sneaking up a little bit. Some of it is due to James's injury. We had to rotate those 3 guys, but we got to keep those down as much as we can. And so, but it's a good luxury to have. But again, teams are going to start scouting. So they've got to be better. They've got to execute in those situations to make sure that we get it done. Because now teams have scouted them. They know who they are. They know Lou Williams is a threat off the bench. So now we got to execute, get hits, have our proper spacing, and some things that we've slipped a little bit with our second unit.
Dwane, how do you coach a team to sustain a 12-2 record?
Just pick out all those little things. All those little things that we talked about at the end of the games are huge. You know, there's so much, Megan, that we have that we can work on. I mean, I know the final score is on our side, but there's so many situations in the game we can get better at. And, you know, when you go, the further in the season you go, the scouting gets better. Defenses are going to get better. Guys' shooting rhythms are going to get better. So we got to continue to get better and not even look at the record or whatever the scoreboard is, and play our game. And that's our drive. And every day I know you guys get tired of me saying we're not there yet, not close to being there yet, and yet and still we're doing a lot of good things. So, you know, that's what we've been preaching as a coaching staff.
The last time you guys saw Atlanta, Horford was just coming back. What you're seeing now, how much different is he than?
He's getting his stroke back. He's getting his jump shot back. The problem is Teague. Teague is speed, and speed is one of our biggest nemesis right now. We got to get him under control because he opens up everything for Horford, Millsap, Corver, when he's coming at you 100 miles an hour. So, but no, Horford is getting back to form where we know he is. He's rebounding. He's shooting the ball. So he's getting back close to where he was.
You got 4 minutes from James yesterday. How is he feeling? And are you still trying to, I guess, work him back?
Right, trying to work him back slowly. You know, just make sure until he got that last block on Green, and he'll tell you different. But you know, I thought he wasn't really explosive, really pushing off that ankle. It's you know, he says it's better today, and I think a lot of it was just he didn't know the unknown of, you know, okay, first time I'm going out here 100 miles an hour, can I push off of it? So again, we'll increase his minutes as we go and see where he is, but just bring him along slowly.